Hey guys, tonight we are descending into the red dust of Mars, where machine spirits whisper in binary hymns, where iron cathedrals scrape the skies, and where secrets lie buried deeper than any vault. Imagine standing in a cavern the size of a city, gears turning endlessly, the air filled with incense smoke that smells faintly of rust and oil. And yes, you smile quietly, because if you were asked to change the batteries in one of those machines, you definitely wouldn't make it out alive. You sure wouldn't live through it. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. And hey, let me know in the comments where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. Someone's probably tucking into breakfast while someone else is already drifting off with this humming in their ears. Now, dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. You're walking across Martian sand. The dust clings to your boots, fine and red, staining everything it touches. The sky above glows orange with storms, and in the distance you see colossal spires of metal rising like frozen lightning bolts. This is the Forge world of Mars, the cradle of the Adeptus Mechanicus. The common historical fact: Mars was colonized long before the Imperium rose, back in the dark age of technology. Its settlers built machines so advanced they almost seemed alive. But when old night fell, Mars turned inward, guarding its forges, praying to the Omnissiah, the machine god who would one day reveal all truths. It became less a colony and more a temple, a place where every cog had a hymn and every spark was holy. And the odd little detail: Martian priests sometimes bless machines with incense censers attached to servo arms, swinging back and forth while chanting in binary. You can picture a robed figure waving a smoking censer not over people, but over a tractor. You can almost hear him muttering, "Be healed, noble combine harvester." Joke number 1. Your steps echo into a mechanized basilica. The walls are carved with cog-toothed arches, glowing runes, and bas-reliefs of skulls entwined with wires. Machine spirits whisper here, not in voices you can hear, but in static, in flickering lights, in the way the air tastes faintly of copper. The scholarly debate still unsettled after millennia. Is the Omnissiah truly the emperor of mankind, as the Imperium insists? Or is the machine god something older, stranger, perhaps hidden still beneath Martian soil? Some priests swear the emperor revealed himself as Omnissiah when he came to Mars. Others murmur that what lies under Mars is more powerful still, and not entirely loyal. You lean against a railing. Sparks fall from a welding servo arm, raining like orange fireflies. You remember a peculiar fact from Earth history. Medieval monks once debated how many angels could dance on the head of a pin. You smile. On Mars, tech priests probably argue how many machine spirits can fit inside a toaster. Joke number 2. The air grows thicker as you descend into a lower vault. Here, massive engines sleep, titans, god machines taller than cathedrals, each with a shrine built into its chest. Priests shuffle between them, lighting candles at the feet of walking fortresses. You pause and touch the cold plasteel wall of one titan. It hums faintly, as if dreaming. Another fact settles. When the Emperor forged his alliance with Mars, it was not simply diplomacy, it was a union of faiths. The Mechanicus accepted him as Omnissiah, and in return, the Imperium gained the loyalty of Mars's forges. Without this pact, the Great Crusade could never have begun. But the odd little rumor whispered among lowly engine seers: some of Mars's deepest vaults are sealed so tightly, even tech priests don't know what's inside. Machines older than the Imperium. Devices so advanced they border on heresy. You imagine a door with a sign saying, "Do not open by order of 30,000 years ago." Joke number 3. The scholars debate endlessly. Are these vaults hiding miracles that could save mankind or horrors that could unmake it? Even the highest magi argue in circles, their voices hissing with static, their mechadendrites twitching like nervous fingers. And in that endless debate lies the mystery of Mars, faith or fear, knowledge or doom. You step back, letting the hum of the titans and the whispers of cogitators lull you. The Martian dust clings to your boots, the air is warm with incense and ozone, and the chants of binary fade into rhythm, soft and steady. The secrets of Mars wait, but for now, you are calm, drifting through vaulted halls where every machine breathes and every prayer is a circuit closing. The air grows heavier as you descend deeper into Mars. The forges above fade into a dull hum, replaced by the grinding of gears older than memory. You move slowly down a stairwell lined with cog-shaped sigils, each glowing faintly with red light. The dust tastes metallic, and you feel as if you're walking through the breath of a slumbering machine. The common historical fact settles in. Buried beneath Mars are STCs, Standard Template Construct. These are the holy grails of the Mechanicus, ancient blueprints from the dark age of technology that can build anything from farms to weapons to starships. Entire crusades have been launched just to recover fragments of these machines. For the Mechanicus, an STC isn't just data, it's divine revelation. But here comes the odd detail. Some recovered STCs have produced designs for utterly mundane items. One famous record tells of a blueprint for a particularly efficient shovel. Imagine armies of red-robed priests chanting, swinging incense, praising the Omnissiah over a shovel. Joke number 1, whispered gently. The scholarly debate burns like a low flame. Are STCs truly relics of divine wisdom, or are they simply advanced computers from humanity's forgotten past? To the Mechanicus, they are sacred texts. To scholars on Terra, they might be tools, powerful yes, but not holy. The question has never been resolved, and perhaps it never can be. You keep walking. The walls here are carved with frescoes, showing the Omnissiah as a figure, half man, half machine, radiating lines of binary script. Candles flicker beneath the images, their wax dripping onto gears embedded in the floor. The gears turn slowly, grinding with patient rhythm, as if the planet itself is nodding along. You step into a chamber the size of a cathedral. At its center is a machine taller than towers, its surface covered in runes. Tech priests shuffle around it, chanting in binary, mechadendrites swaying like nervous serpents. The air is thick with incense and sparks float gently upward, glowing like fireflies. The fact that comes next. Mars's vaults are also rumored to house weapons of the Men of Iron, machines that once rebelled against humanity in the Age of Strife. Whether these weapons are locked away for study or for fear, no one knows. The Mechanicus prays never to release them, yet they also cannot bear to destroy them, and the odd rumor whispered among low-ranking engine seers? That one vault contains nothing but a vending machine that still works after 20,000 years. Insert a coin, and out pops a drink. Imagine a priest bowing reverently before it, intoning, "Blessed be the Omnissiah, dispenser of citrus beverage." Joke number 2. The scholars argue endlessly. Are the vaults filled with miracles that could restore humanity, or are they Pandora's boxes best left sealed? Some argue the Emperor himself ordered them locked, fearing what lay inside. Others believe the Mechanicus hides knowledge out of pride, hoarding secrets for power. The debate rattles like loose bolts, unresolved. You wander further. Pipes hiss overhead, dripping condensation that smells faintly of oil. The sound reminds you of rain on an iron roof, steady, calming, almost musical. You brush your hand along a wall and the stone is warm, pulsing faintly, as though a heartbeat thrums behind it. Another fact rises. The cult Mechanicus believes every machine has a spirit, no matter how small. From the colossal titans to the tiniest data slate, all require ritual care, oil blessings, prayers, hymns in binary. To ignore the rites is heresy. To repair without ritual is sacrilege, and the odd practice tied to that belief. Some tech priests refuse to press the on button of a cogitator until they've chanted the appropriate verse. Picture a scribe nervously waiting 5 minutes while his boss whispers, "Just turn it on already." Joke number 3. The scholarly debate, again, hums like static. Do machines truly have spirits, or is this ritual nothing more than superstition layered onto engineering? To the Mechanicus, it doesn't matter. Belief shapes reality. To outsiders, it's theatre. And between faith and doubt lies the mystery of Mars unbroken. Your breathing slows as you move deeper. The chamber narrows into a tunnel, the walls pulsing faintly with red light, like veins of fire buried in rock. Ahead, you hear chanting rise, 1,000 voices in harmony, binary hymns praising the Omnissiah, asking for guidance. You close your eyes for a moment. The sound is strange but soothing, like a choir run through a broken radio. The hum rocks you gently, like waves against an iron shore. The secrets of Mars tighten around you. STCs, vaults, machine spirits, prayers, they are both absurd and profound, sacred and strange. And as you walk deeper, you realize that here, even a shovel can be holy, and even a vending machine can be divine. The tunnels open wide into a vast gallery, and you stop for a moment to let your eyes adjust. Above you stretch iron ribs like the bones of a cathedral, cables dangling like vines, each tipped with flickering lights. The air is warm and smells of incense mixed with ozone, the tang of machinery alive and listening. You walk slowly down the center aisle, your footsteps echoing in rhythm with distant hymns. The common historical fact settles here. The Adeptus Mechanicus believes in the Omnissiah, the divine manifestation of the machine god. To them, the Omnissiah is not just an idea, it is truth embodied. Many believe the Emperor himself was the Omnissiah revealed when he walked Mars, forging the pact that united Terra and the Red Planet. Others whisper that the true Omnissiah has yet to arrive, a messiah of circuits still hidden beneath Martian dust. And the odd detail? Rituals on Mars are not confined to shrines. Tech priests bless trains before they run, chant to elevators before they rise, even sprinkle holy oils on vending units. Imagine waiting in line for a lift while a red-robed priest sings to the spirit of vertical transport. You sigh quietly. This is one place where being late is religiously justified. Joke number 1. Your steps lead you deeper, past towering statues of the Omnissiah, half human, half machine, hands raised in blessing, eyes glowing faintly with circuits instead of pupils. Servitors shuffle at their feet, mindless bodies fused with pistons, endlessly polishing the marble base. They move so slowly it almost looks like a ritual dance, mechanical and hypnotic. The scholarly debate hums. Was the Emperor wise to allow the Mechanicus their belief in the Omnissiah? Some argue it was necessary compromise, faith-binding two empires. Others claim it planted the seed of contradiction, two religions stitched together, destined to split. Even now, the debate sparks like static in old Vox lines. You move further down the hall. The chanting grows louder, binary hymns chanted by Skitarii soldiers standing in perfect rows. Their armor gleams with brass, their faces hidden by masks of steel, glowing eyes unblinking. They do not fidget, do not yawn, do not even breathe in rhythm with you. They stand as statues, yet every fiber of their being is ready for war. The fact that anchors them, the Skitarii legions are the martial arm of the Mechanicus, cybernetic soldiers built for loyalty and precision. Their bodies hum with implants, their limbs replaced with augmetics, their minds tuned to machine logic. They are not simply troops. They are extensions of Mars itself, soldiers who never question, only execute. And the odd little rumor whispered in mess halls, some Skitarii are programmed to hum binary lullabies when idle, soft streams of static that sound almost like nursery songs. Imagine standing guard for 1,000 years and softly singing to yourself in machine code. Joke number 2. The scholars naturally argue, are the Skitarii still human or are they something else entirely? Flesh-bound to machine, individuality erased. Some call them men, others call them tools. The argument continues, unresolved, echoing in candlelit chambers, while the Skitarii themselves stand silent, uncaring of the verdict. You pause, listening. The binary hymns rise, voices layered, sharp and sweet, and they lull you like the steady pulse of rain against metal. You let it wash over you, eyes half closing, body heavy. The hum is almost sleep itself. Another fact drifts up from memory. The Mechanicus believed the quest for knowledge is eternal. Every discovery is a holy act, every repair a prayer, every experiment a form of devotion. To know is to worship, to uncover is to praise. Their libraries are endless, filled with data etched on adamantine plates, scrolls of glowing script, cogitators humming with ancient truths. But the odd, slightly absurd fact? Some tech priests are so obsessed with preserving knowledge that they keep entire archives of failed toaster designs. Imagine shelves upon shelves of data marked unsuccessful bread warming attempt 247. Joke number 3, tucked in with a sleepy grin. The scholars still circle this debate like moths around a flame. Is the quest for knowledge about discovery or about remembering? Some say the Mechanicus only copies, never invents, trapped by dogma. Others argue that innovation lies hidden in ritual, emerging slowly like sparks from coals. Neither side convinces the other. The argument drones on like a machine stuck in loop. Your path narrows again. The iron ribs overhead close like jaws, the lights dim, and you find yourself before a sealed vault door. It is vast, carved with cog teeth patterns, sealed with chains thicker than tree trunks. Priests stand vigil here, chanting without pause, mechadendrites waving in rhythm. You can almost hear the vault breathe. Behind it lies something, knowledge or danger, miracle or curse. The door hums faintly, a low vibration that travels into your bones. You step closer, and in the silence between chants, you remember another odd fragment of Earth's history. In medieval Europe, scholars once thought lightning was caused by angels bowling in the heavens. You smile softly. On Mars, priests would probably nod and say, yes, and the machine spirit of the bowling ball approves. The chamber hums lower. The chants grow softer, your breath falls in rhythm with the Skitarii's silence. The secrets of Mars feel closer now, just behind those chains, just beyond your reach. And as you stand in the half-darkness, listening to binary lullabies, you realize that even in the strangest rituals there is comfort, and even in the most ancient machinery there is peace. The corridors wind downward until the air grows warmer, heavier, almost alive with static. You can hear it in your teeth, a low hum that makes each step feel slower, as though Mars itself is drawing you into its chest. Ahead, doors of bronze creak open, and you enter a hall so vast it swallows sound. Your eyes rise slowly. Before you stands a Titan legion, god machines taller than skyscrapers, resting in slumber. Their armor glints gold and black, each knee joint larger than a cathedral dome. Priests climb their limbs like ants, polishing sacred plates, anointing joints with oils, chanting hymns to wake the spirits of war. The historical fact towers above you. The Titan legions are the war gods of the Mechanicus, each one a walking fortress powered by machine spirits older than empires. They stride across battlefields like mountains, each footstep a small earthquake. Without them, the Imperium would have fallen long ago, and the odd, quietly amusing detail. Before every battle, Titan crews conduct a full mass, candles lit, choirs singing, entire sermons preached to the machine spirit. Imagine holding up a galactic war while priests argue whether the Titan prefers frankincense or sandalwood incense. Joke number 1, you step closer. The Titan's eyes, vast stained glass lenses, seem to follow you, faintly glowing in their slumber. You imagine them dreaming, their machine spirits wandering fields of electricity, grazing on currents like cattle on grass. The priests whisper, "Do not disturb them, for even a dreamer can crush mountains in its sleep." The scholarly debate hums like background static. Are Titan's spirits truly conscious? Some swear the machines respond with will, angry when neglected, joyful when praised. Others claim it is all programming, ancient algorithms mistaken for faith. The truth, as always, remains shrouded, somewhere between miracle and mechanism. Your footsteps carry you past the Titans, into tunnels where the air grows thick with heat. The walls glow faint orange, as though the rock itself is smouldering. Ahead lies a cavern, older than memory, where myth and history blend. The fact whispered here is both sacred and dangerous. Deep beneath Mars is said to lie the Dragon of Mars, a being of immense power, shackled by the Emperor himself during the dawn of the Imperium. Some say it is a Citan, an ancient star god devourer of suns, bound in chains of psychic will. The Mechanicus, knowingly or not, worships its prison as holy ground, and the odd, half-forbidden detail. Some priests swear they hear scratching noises in the walls near its supposed vault. Imagine working late shift in a forge, hearing claws tapping faintly from beneath the floor, and pretending it's just the pipes. Joke number 2. The scholarly debate burns like fire. Is the dragon truly real, or is it a parable created to explain the Mechanicus' obsession with machines? Some claim the Emperor bound it to fuel humanity's survival. Others argue it is legend layered on forgotten truths. No answer is accepted, yet the fear persists. You pause. The air here is stifling, heavy as though a giant hand presses down on your chest. The ground vibrates faintly, and you swear you hear a growl low and deep like a furnace clearing its throat. You laugh softly, but your laugh trembles too. Another fact rises: the Mechanicus often sends their explorator fleets into the stars, seeking more relics of the machine god. Each voyage is half pilgrimage, half treasure hunt, stretching into the void for centuries at a time. They bring back fragments of knowledge, sometimes holy, sometimes cursed, and the odd habit of these expeditions. Captains keep souvenir bins of recovered tech they don't understand, labeling them with optimistic notes like, "To be explained by Omnissiah later." Imagine a warehouse filled with glowing cubes, each tagged, "Mystery Box, do not touch until holiday." Joke number 3. The scholars continue their endless circle. Should Mars share these discoveries with Terra? Some argue knowledge belongs to all humanity. Others insist the Mechanicus must guard secrets lest they destroy more than they save. The argument drones on, century after century, echoing louder than engines. You lean against the wall, feeling its warmth, and your eyes flutter half-closed. The hum of Titans blends with the imagined growl of the dragon. The scent of incense lingers, mixed with the metallic tang of ancient machines. You breathe slow, deep, steady. In this stillness, Mars feels less like a planet and more like a sleeping giant. Dreaming Titans above, chained gods below, priests singing lullabies to both. Knowledge and myth blur together, and you realize that here, even lies have the weight of truth, and even myths breathe like engines. The hall fades behind you, your steps soft against the glowing stone, and the secrets of Mars press closer, deeper, waiting for you to return. You emerge from the tunnels into a hall that glitters like a treasury. Brass pipes stretch to infinity overhead, polished until they glow in the dim red light. Choirs of servitors hum in binary, their voices steady, low, like bees in endless rhythm. And before you, raised on a dais of black iron, sits the seat of Mars's highest power, the Fabricator General of Mars. The historical fact is clear. This title is the highest rank of the Adeptus Mechanicus, the one who rules the forges, commands the Skitarii, and speaks for the cult Mechanicus in the Senatorum Imperialis. In theory, he kneels to the High Lords of Terror. In practice, the Fabricator General is so powerful he can make or break wars by deciding which armies receive tanks and which receive nothing at all. His word fuels the Imperium, or starves it, and yet the odd little detail tucked into law? Every Fabricator General wears so many mechanical augmentations that some barely resemble humans anymore. It's said one had so many servo arms he could pour his own tea, play chess, and scratch his head all at once. Imagine his assistants watching nervously as he accidentally checkmates himself. Joke number 1. You step closer, your boots ringing on the iron floor. Statues line the hall, massive icons of cog skulls, half-machine saints, and long-dead magi frozen in brass. The air tastes of incense and solder, as though faith and circuitry are one. The scholarly debate hums. Is the Fabricator General truly a servant of the Emperor, or does he serve only Mars? Some say the pact of the Omnissiah binds him eternally to Terra. Others whisper that his first loyalty will always be to the forges of Mars, and only secondarily to the throne. The debate is never spoken too loudly, but everyone thinks it. You walk deeper into the hall and notice something stranger still. Rows of lower-ranking tech priests kneel in perfect lines, their faces hidden under hoods, their mechadendrites twitching faintly like restless insects. The ritual of obedience is being performed, each priest chanting not words, but long strings of numbers, reciting digits as prayers. The fact that anchors this scene, Mechanicus hierarchy, is rigid, absolute. From the lowly engine seer who oils the joints of a tank to the archmagos who commands fleets, each rank bows to the one above. Knowledge is hoarded like treasure, given sparingly. A single phrase of sacred text might take decades to earn, and the odd, slightly absurd detail. Some junior priests are tasked for years with nothing but counting bolts in warehouses, ensuring the Omnissiah's inventory remains pure. Imagine devoting 40 years of your life to whispering, "Bolt number 7042 present." Joke number 2, soft and weary. The scholars debate quietly. Does this hierarchy protect knowledge or stifle it? Some argue secrecy keeps technology safe from corruption. Others say it chains humanity to ignorance, slowing progress until stagnation itself becomes worship. The argument is older than the Emperor's throne and no closer to being solved. You pause and listen. The air carries the faint whir of cogitators, the clicking of servos, the chanting of digits. It feels hypnotic, like rain against glass. You let it wash over you, heavy, steady, lulling. Another fact hums at the edges of your thoughts. The rituals of the Mechanicus are elaborate, sometimes absurdly so. To start a machine, one must chant, wave incense, press buttons in exact order, sprinkle oil, and intone binary codes. Skipping any step risks angering the machine spirit, or at least angering your supervisor. And the odd habit born from this ritualism. Some priests keep small, pocket-sized sensors so they can bless handheld devices. Picture someone swinging incense over a toaster before making breakfast. Joke number 3, whispered with a smile. The scholars still mutter their endless question. Are these rituals superstition draped over science, or do they truly matter? Does the incense calm a machine spirit, or does it calm the priest who believes? The line between psychology and spirituality blurs until both seem true. You move further into the chamber. Behind the dais of the Fabricator General, colossal banners stretch to the ceiling, embroidered with cog skulls, gears, and the red planet wreathed in flame. Their fabric glows faintly as if lit from within. Servitors stand at attention, eyes dark, limbs replaced by drills and welding torches, humming like tired cicadas. And in that moment, you remember a stray fact from Earth history. Medieval monks once argued over whether a sneeze came from demons escaping the body. You chuckle faintly. On Mars, priests would probably say, "No, that was the machine spirit sneezing in binary." The candles flicker low. The chants soften. Your breath slows in time with the humming servitors. The hall of hierarchy looms vast and solemn, but in this telling, it feels less oppressive and more like a lullaby sung by machines. The secrets of Mars rest not only in vaults and myths, but in the endless repetition of rituals, the whispered prayers to bolts, the incense over devices, the counting of digits, until sleep itself feels like worship. And so, you let the rhythm carry you deeper through the rigid ranks and hidden loyalties into the heart of Mars, where knowledge is chained, guarded, and adored like a sleeping god. The stairwells shudder as you move downward, and the air grows hotter. The walls pulse faintly with red light, as if veins of molten iron beat like a heart inside the planet. Steam hisses from vents, coating your skin in a sheen of oil-scented moisture. Each step feels like moving into the throat of a great machine. The historical fact lives here. Mars is home to the greatest forges of the Imperium, factories so vast they swallow cities whole. They build titans, tanks, weapons for billions, and ships that cross the void. Some forge complexes are so massive that people are born, live, and die without ever seeing the sun, their entire existence spent inside humming vaults. The forge is life, the forge is faith, and yet the odd little detail, some of these forges have been working continuously for so long that nobody remembers what they're actually producing. Imagine conveyor belts rolling endlessly, priests dutifully blessing each bolt, while the final product remains a mystery. Yes, Magos, another 40,000 years of widgets. Joke number 1, whispered gently. You step into a chamber filled with assembly lines. Servitors hang from the ceilings like puppets, their arms moving in perfect sync, hammering, welding, screwing. Sparks rain down like tiny orange stars, and the air is filled with the lullaby of machines at work. The scholarly debate hums faintly in your mind. Are these forges truly still efficient, or are they sacred relics kept running out of faith rather than function? Some say production could be modernized, faster, cleaner, smarter. Others hiss that tampering would be heresy, a betrayal of the Omnissiah's holy design. Progress versus preservation. The argument clicks on forever, like gears that never stop. You walk further. Here lies a vault, marked with symbols of highest secrecy, guarded by Skitarii standing perfectly still, their red cloaks stirring only in the hiss of steam. Inside are sacred relics of the Mechanicus, weapons, engines, devices older than the Imperium itself. Each relic is treated like a saint, anointed, prayed to, never truly understood. The fact anchors the weight of it. Many of these relics are archaeotech, technology from humanity's golden past. Some are miraculous, self-repairing armor, plasma coils that never cool. Others are dangerous, their function half forgotten, their side effects catastrophic. The Mechanicus loves them all equally, without question, and the odd rumor that flickers like static? In one vault rests a holy toaster that has worked flawlessly for 18,000 years. Tech priests guard it in shifts, bowing to it at dawn, muttering litanies while it delivers perfectly crisp bread. Joke number 2, soft as bread crust. The scholars circle their arguments. Should these relics be studied and replicated, or merely worshipped and preserved? Some say humanity's survival demands innovation. Others whisper that innovation is pride and pride is heresy. The debate flickers endlessly, as steady as the vault's glow. The air thickens again as you pass through to another hall. This one hums with a more dangerous note. Here lie the forbidden experiments, projects the Mechanicus rarely admits exist. Augmentations tested beyond sanity, servitors built from condemned criminals, cogitators straining with knowledge never meant for human minds. The line between research and blasphemy blurs in these red-lit corridors. The fact burns quietly. There are whispers that Mars dabbled in artificial intelligence. Despite the Emperor's commands, despite the scars of the men of iron, the research is never admitted, but occasional accidents, malfunctioning cogitators whispering too clearly, servitors moving without command, hint at forbidden pursuits, and the odd, almost comedic story whispered by low-ranking adepts. That one experiment accidentally created a servo skull obsessed with singing opera. Imagine a floating skull drifting down a corridor, belting out Ave Maria in flawless pitch, ignoring all attempts to shut it off. Joke number 3. The scholars, as always, cannot agree. Is forbidden research inevitable when curiosity is endless? Or is it betrayal, a crack in faith that risks humanity itself? Some argue progress requires breaking rules. Others insist even one step too far could summon apocalypse. The echo of their arguments feels heavier than steel. You pause, resting against a railing, and the heat radiates into your palms. The forge hum is steady, the servitor's movements precise, the chanting priests soft and rhythmic. For all its danger, the scene is strangely calming. A lullaby of sparks and steam, an iron cradle rocking you toward rest. And then a stray fact from Earth history drifts through your mind. Alchemists once believed you could turn lead into gold with the philosopher's stone. You chuckle faintly. On Mars, priests would nod solemnly and say, "Yes, but only if you anoint the lead with sacred oils first." The air hisses. Sparks glow like fireflies. The weight of the forges, the relics, the forbidden secrets, together they blur into one truth. Mars is both a factory and a temple, a place where production and prayer are the same, where every hum of machinery is a hymn, and every experiment, holy or heretical, is a lullaby for the Omnissiah. And so you walk slowly onward, soothed by the rhythm of machines that never sleep, carrying with you the whispers of relics, the sigh of forges, and the distant, absurd promise of the holy toaster that never fails. The tunnels narrow again, then widen suddenly into something unexpected. The air is cooler here, washed with the smell of incense and faint ozone. You step into a courtyard beneath a dome of iron and stained glass, its panels glowing faintly with Martian sunlight filtered through red dust. It almost feels like a park, but instead of trees, there are statues of cogs and skulls, and instead of fountains, there are pipes that trickle sacred oils into brass basins. The daily life of the cult Mechanicus is revealed here. The historical fact, every waking moment for a priest of Mars is ritual. Eating, sleeping, repairing, all of it bound in sacred gestures. To maintain your augmetics, you must chant the proper prayers. To enter a forge, you must swing incense at the doorframe. Even plugging in a data cable requires reciting a catechism. For the Adeptus Mechanicus, life is not divided between work and worship. Life is worship. And the odd, quietly amusing detail, priests with mechanical jaws still insist on chewing food, even though they could simply bypass eating altogether. Imagine a table of red-robed magi, their steel teeth clacking noisily like wind-up toys, while one mutters, "It's for tradition." Joke number 1. You drift further past rows of sleeping quarters. They are not bedrooms as you know them, just small alcoves, each with a wall socket where a tech priest plugs themselves in to recharge augmetics. The air hums softly with the low buzz of electricity. 1,000 priests rest in silence, tethered to the wall like children of a mechanical hive. The scholarly debate hums again. Is the cult Mechanicus still human at all? Some argue their rituals, their devotion, their flesh, even their souls, are transformed into something new, neither man nor machine. Others insist they remain human, bound by faith, carrying mankind's torch in their strange mechanical way. The line blurs, and no one dares draw it too sharply. Your steps carry you toward a long corridor, where laughter, yes, laughter, echoes faintly. You follow it and arrive at a festival hall, brightly lit with swinging lamps and hanging banners of red and gold. The Martian festivals are rarer, but they exist. Moments when the cult Mechanicus celebrates the Omnissiah through ritual pageantry. The fact comes into focus. On Mars, some of these festivals honor the machine god through machine parades. Great constructs are rolled into the streets, decorated with banners and lights as choirs sing in binary. Entire titans may stride through the dust, not to wage war, but to bless the people by their presence. And the odd little tradition? Children of forge workers sometimes dress up as tiny servitors during festivals, wearing toy mechadendrites made of tubing. Imagine a parade of toddlers shuffling stiffly, chanting "Ball 1" while their parents cheer. Joke number 2, whispered warmly. The scholarly debate flickers in the corners of this hall. Do these festivals serve faith, or do they serve control? Some argue they keep the population unified, giving hope in ritual. Others murmur they are tools of hierarchy, distractions from the secrecy of the forges. The truth, as always, is hidden in incense smoke. The air shifts again as you move into another chamber. This one glows faint green from vats filled with nutrient fluids. Inside float half-grown servitors, their bodies twitching faintly as augmetics are fused to flesh. Priests move quietly, checking dials, intoning binary prayers. The fact emerges: for the cult Mechanicus, flesh is weakness. Flesh decays, grows sick, fails. Machine endures. Augmentation is salvation, each implant a step closer to perfection. To lose flesh is not to lose humanity. It is to become closer to the Omnissiah. And yet, the odd, nearly absurd footnote: some magi are so augmented that they keep jars of their original fingernails on shelves, labeled like relics. Index nail. 917 M31. Imagine them dusting the jars reverently, whispering, "Ah, yes, the glory days." Joke number 3. The scholars argue endlessly. Does replacing flesh with machine preserve the human soul, or replace it? Is humanity's essence bound to the mind, or does it slip away with each new limb of steel? The debate is as endless as the gears of Mars and just as grinding. You lean against a pillar, letting the faint hum of power conduits soothe you. In the distance, choirs continue their festival songs, binary rising and falling like waves. The laughter of children, the hiss of servitors, the chanting of priests, it all blends into a single lullaby, strange and yet soft. And then you remember another curious fact from Earth's past. Ancient Romans once celebrated Saturnalia, a festival where masters and slaves traded places for a day. You smile faintly. On Mars, imagine tech priests letting servitors order them around. Magos, please fetch me some sacred oil. A joke, but one that would never actually happen. The lights dim, the laughter fades. Your breathing slows, falling into rhythm with the binary hymns. Daily rituals, mechanical chewing, parades of titans, jars of fingernails, it all feels surreal. But in this telling, it softens into a dream. The cult Mechanicus, strange as it is, drifts around you like a blanket of circuits and prayer. And so you walk deeper, soothed by the quiet absurdities of machine worship, lulled by the hum of Mars's festivals, sliding further into a story where faith and flesh are rewired into something both alien and oddly comforting. The hum of Mars changes as you descend further. It is no longer the steady rhythm of forges or the whispers of binary hymns. It is sharper, like the faint crackle of lightning just before a storm. The walls here are darker, lined with banners that hang heavy in the dust. You can feel it in your steps, the weight of alliances and betrayals, the hidden politics of the cult Mechanicus. The historical fact is clear. The Mechanicus has never been truly united. Mars is strong, but beyond Mars stretch countless forge worlds, each one a planet devoted entirely to industry and faith. Some are loyal to Terra, others more to themselves. Schisms run deep. Civil wars have broken out, and at times, Forge has fought Forge with titans and fleets, even while the galaxy burned around them. And the odd little detail? Some rival forges even argue over the correct shade of red for their robes, declaring that one hue is holier than another. Imagine an entire crusade fought because someone insisted their crimson was divinely superior to burgundy. Joke number 1, whispered with a sigh. You walk past great murals painted directly onto iron walls, showing titans dueling titans, Skitarii legions clashing in dust storms, ships burning above barren worlds. The air smells of old oil and smoke, as though these battles still linger. Ghosts of industry turned against itself. The scholarly debate hums softly. Is the cult Mechanicus stronger for its diversity of forge worlds or weaker for its constant division? Some argue independence breeds innovation. Others hiss that division invites disaster, that Mars's children waste themselves fighting each other while the Imperium suffers. The truth, as always, is split like a cracked cogwheel. You step into a chamber where a giant table of iron dominates the space, its surface carved with star maps. Figures in red robes lean over it, mechadendrites pointing at glowing markers. They argue in bursts of static and binary, the tones rising like angry beeps. This is where alliances are made and betrayals sealed. The fact emerges: some forge worlds have openly sided with enemies of the Imperium. During the Horus Heresy, the dark Mechanicum rose, priests who embraced chaos, corrupting machines with demonic pacts. They still exist, hiding in the eye of terror, building war engines that bleed and breathe. And the odd rumor? Among the dark Mechanicum are said to be priests who hold weddings between their machines, solemnly declaring two engines joined in sacred matrimony. Picture a priest smiling as two tanks roll side by side, tin cans clattering behind them, painted with "just married," joke number 2. The scholars debate endlessly. Is the dark Mechanicum a true splinter of Mars, or a corruption so deep that it no longer counts as Mechanicus at all? Some insist chaos merely twists what was already there. Others argue it is a wholly different faith. The argument drones on, neither side conceding. You move further, and the iron doors open into a smaller hall lined with reliquaries. Each reliquary holds fragments of treaties, shards of cogitators, even scraps of banners from alliances long dead. Priests walk slowly here, reciting oaths in binary as though to remind themselves of promises broken. Another fact rises. Despite its schisms, the Adeptus Mechanicus remains bound to Terra by the Treaty of Mars, signed during the Emperor's Great Crusade. It has never been revoked, never rewritten. Even in their angriest schisms, Forge Worlds whisper prayers to the Omnissiah and keep the treaty sealed in vaults. And the odd practice tied to this? Some priests carry tiny pocket-sized copies of the treaty on scrolls, rolling them out dramatically during arguments, like lawyers slamming down legal contracts. Imagine a Magos hissing, Clause 7b clearly states, "My forge controls the plasma distribution." Joke number 3. The scholars murmur, does the treaty still matter? Or is it just ceremonial now, honored in words but ignored in practice? Some say it keeps the Imperium alive by binding Mars's loyalty. Others whisper it is a hollow relic, clung to out of fear of what would happen without it. The air hums lower, softer, as though the planet itself sighs. You can almost feel the exhaustion of centuries of arguments, wars, schisms, all humming in the background like gears grinding endlessly. It is both heavy and strangely soothing. And you remember a stray fact from Earth's history. Medieval kings once argued bitterly over the correct length of a cucumber, declaring rival farmers heretics for growing them too long or too short. You chuckle faintly. On Mars, you imagine priests solemnly holding up rulers to measure augmetic screws. The banners ripple faintly in a hidden draft. The star maps glow dimly. The binary debates echo in the air, soft, almost like a lullaby now. And as you breathe slowly, you realize that Mars's strength lies not only in its machines, but in its contradictions, unity and division, treaties and betrayals. Oaths whispered and oaths broken, the hum steadies again, slower, deeper, carrying you like a great iron cradle rocking you toward rest. The corridor narrows until it feels like a vein inside the body of Mars itself. You move slowly, boots crunching over dust, the walls humming with faint static. The further you walk, the more the static sharpens into something clearer, like whispers. Voices not spoken aloud but buzzing at the edges of your mind. The historical fact settles here. The Adeptus Mechanicus lives not only in flesh and steel, but in the noosphere, an invisible digital layer of information flowing above reality. To the unaugmented it is silent. To the priests it is constant data, streams of numbers, alerts, maps, prayers, arguments, everything flowing at once, filling their thoughts. It is a shared dream of circuits, a ghost internet layered over Mars, and the odd detail. Within the noosphere, priests sometimes hold formal duels, hurling binary insults at each other until one overloads and crashes. Imagine two dignified magi in silence, their eyes twitching while the onlookers whisper, "Ah, another spicy email fight." Joke number 1. You pause. The static sharpens further. In your mind's eye, you glimpse flashes, glowing cogs, streams of symbols, a titan walking in blue light. It feels vast, endless, like standing at the edge of an ocean made of data. The scholarly debate hums. Are the voices in the noosphere truly just echoes of machines? Or are they machine spirits speaking? Some argue it is only code, nothing more. Others whisper that personalities linger, fragments of intelligence, maybe even ghosts of long-dead minds. Faith and science blur until both sound the same. You step into a chamber lined with cogitators, their lights flickering in patterns. The priests here stand perfectly still, their eyes glowing faintly as they immerse themselves in the noosphere. To them, the room is filled with visions, but to you it is only silence and humming. The fact continues. Within the noosphere lurk data ghosts, glitches that appear like phantoms. Some are harmless, repeating old prayers forever. Others seem to move with intent, tricking systems, whispering strange truths. No one admits their origin. Are they errors, demons, or echoes of minds long digitized? And the odd story whispered among lower adepts. One data ghost endlessly repeats the recipe for soup, line by line, in binary. Priests mutter about the sacred broth of the Omnissiah. Joke number 2. The scholars debate endlessly. Should data ghosts be purged as errors or honored as fragments of the divine? Some argue deletion risks erasing holy echoes. Others insist tolerance risks corruption. The debate loops forever, like a cogwheel turning with no end. You breathe slowly. The air is warmer here, heavy with electricity. Sparks crackle faintly in the air, glowing motes drifting like fireflies. You imagine them as spirits themselves, tiny machine angels buzzing around your shoulders. Another fact rises. The Mechanicus sometimes claims to hear the machine spirits when a device sparks or whirs oddly. To them, these quirks are not malfunctions but communications, warnings, greetings, moods. Entire manuals exist to interpret the tone of engines. And the odd little quirk? Some tech priests refuse to work on machines that sound grumpy. Picture one stepping back from a generator, muttering, "Nope, that's an angry hum. I'll come back after lunch." Joke number 3. The scholarly debate flickers once more. Are these voices real spirits, or projections of faith layered over code and mechanics? Perhaps the answer doesn't matter. Belief shapes the response, and the response shapes reality. The machine spirit is both myth and mechanism, a lullaby sung in static. You close your eyes. The hum of the noosphere flows around you now, soft, steady, not frightening, but strangely calming, like rain translated into numbers or wind expressed in binary. You feel yourself rocking gently in the rhythm of unseen circuits, and then a memory drifts from old Earth. Early telephone operators sometimes believed ghostly voices spoke through crossed wires, faint whispers between calls. You smile faintly. On Mars, priests would bow deeply and say, "The Omnissiah has joined the party line." The sparks fade. The binary softens. Your steps feel lighter now, as though carried along currents of data. The noosphere hums around you, a quiet ocean of static, rocking you towards sleep like a tide that never ends. The tunnels ease upward now, the hum of Mars quieter, softer, like a machine finally winding down. The air grows cooler, the dust less heavy. You find yourself in a vast chamber that feels more like a temple than a forge. Candles glow in endless rows, and the walls are carved with scripture in both binary and high Gothic, side by side, as if faith itself has been etched into the bones of the planet. The historical fact rests heavy here. For 10,000 years, the Adeptus Mechanicus has endured. Through heresy, wars, and schisms, it has remained the Imperium's beating industrial heart. Titans still stride, forges still burn, Skitarii still march. Without Mars, the Imperium would fall silent in a single century. The cult Mechanicus may be strange, divided, even absurd, but it is eternal, as constant as the hum of gears. And the odd little detail? Some forges hold bedtime rituals for their machines. Before shutting down for the night, priests gather, recite hymns, and literally tell the machine's spirit to rest well. Imagine an engine seer tucking a generator in with a blanket and whispering, "Sweet dreams, Omnissiah." Joke number 1. You walk further into a hall filled with murals of the Omnissiah. Some depict the Emperor himself, radiant in gold. Others show a faceless machine god, circuits for veins, stars orbiting his hands. Still others dare to paint a dragon, bound in chains, glowing eyes, watching from beneath the planet's crust. 3 versions of one truth, or 3 lies folded into one. The scholarly debate lingers like incense. Who is the Omnissiah really? Is it the Emperor revealed on Mars? Is it the dragon bound beneath? Or is it something else still waiting to awaken, a truth no one dares to admit? The Mechanicus prays, but even among the faithful, doubt hums like static, unspoken but present. The air grows warmer again, but only faintly. A low hum vibrates under your feet, steady and calm, like the heartbeat of a giant at rest. You pause, and in the quiet you realize Mars itself feels like a lullaby. The planet doesn't roar, it doesn't scream, it hums. Constant, endless, soothing. Another fact drifts gently. Some say the Emperor, before being entombed on Terra, left part of his essence on Mars, ensuring the Mechanicus would never truly fail. Whether true or myth, the belief is enough to keep the priests singing, the forges burning, the rituals unbroken, and the odd little tradition tied to this belief. On some forge worlds, priests whisper jokes to their machines as a form of blessing, believing laughter keeps the machine spirit healthy. Imagine a Magos leaning close to a plasma engine and telling it a knock-knock joke in binary. Joke number 2. The scholars argue, of course, is this endurance strength or stagnation? Some claim the Mechanicus has kept humanity alive by clinging to faith. Others argue its refusal to innovate damns humanity to endless decay. Yet no one denies its constancy. Whether salvation or prison, the cult Mechanicus endures. You walk deeper, and the chamber shifts into something quieter still, a reliquary filled with small, strange objects, a cog polished until it shines, a broken data slate wrapped in silk, a skull half metal, half bone, resting in a glass case. These are not grand relics, but everyday fragments cherished as if divine, and the oddest of all, a small, ancient coffee mug etched with "World's Best Engine Seer." It sits on a pedestal, guarded by servo skulls, candles flickering around it. Joke number 3, you breathe slowly. The reliquary hums faintly, not with machines, but with the quiet weight of belief. To the Mechanicus, nothing is too small to be sacred. A bolt, a shovel, a toaster, a mug. If it endures, if it functions, if it carries memory, then it is holy. The final debate lingers like a soft shadow. Is holiness found in perfection or in persistence? Some argue divinity lies in flawless design, in machines that never fail. Others whisper it lies in survival, in things that break but are repaired again and again. Like the Imperium itself, cracked but unbroken. You step back, letting the chamber fade around you. The candles blur into stars, the walls dissolve into quiet dust. Mars hums in your bones, and you realize the story has never been about answers. It has always been about the lull, the rhythm of faith and machine, absurd yet eternal, humming humanity into another night. And then a memory from old Earth returns. People once swore that if you put a seashell to your ear, you could hear the ocean. You smile faintly. On Mars, a priest would press a cog to his ear and whisper, "I hear the Omnissiah." The hum grows softer. Your breathing slows. The secrets of Mars do not shout, they soothe. And as you drift, the Omnissiah, whatever it truly is, rocks you like a machine spirit's lullaby, carrying you gently into sleep.